Welcome to the pre-assessment FMO guide for cable craning, otherwise known as Skyline. My name's Sarah Chapman, I'm from MJ Wood Services, and I'm joined today by Michael Crutchley.
Hello.
Who's an MPTC assessor and Lantra trainer and is a forestry contractor with 20 years experience. And Mike will be sharing his knowledge with us today on the skills that you need to demonstrate during your FMO cable crane assessment. This is one of 7 videos on the cable crane assessment, and you will need to watch these in conjunction with our base machine videos, which also cover your health and safety, hazards and risks and PPE. We already assume you have a good level of skill. This is not a training video, so we assume you have a good level of skill for using the Skyline or cable crane. And we always recommend that you seek formal training and read the qualification guidance. These videos would not be possible without the support of Forestry Focused Future, an innovative training scheme, and Callum Campbell of Forest Services Limited from Huncliffe for the use of his machines, crew and site today. This is video 1 of our cable crane pre-assessment guide, and this is site survey. So before setting up any equipment, you should survey the site and decide whether what sort of system, Skyline or high lead, that you'll be using. So with a Skyline and high lead, what is the actual difference and when would you use one or the other?
With a Skyline, principally you're using a fixed solid line to support the carriage, whereas with a high lead, it's a moving line supports the carriage. High lead is for short range because you can't really go more than that 200 metres and get enough tension on the rope, and it doesn't really cope very well with breaks in ground. Skyline takes a little more setting up, but it's much better over longer ranges. You can go out to several hundred metres, and with the use of supports you can cope with breaks in the ground. So
what factors should we consider when surveying a site?
Okay, principally we're looking to see the rack is going to be straight, because when you pull the wire ropes tight, and then you have running straight lines. You're looking for overhead hazards. We don't want any power lines in the place, because power lines and Skyline ropes, the recipe disaster. You want to make sure you've got good support trees, whether they be for the spar or the intermediates. You need to make sure that the anchors are, good anchors for those as well. Lastly, to make sure you've got somewhere you can actually put the base machine nice and tidy, whether you might need an offset pull or something like that.
Okay, so what other factors in relation to the type of site, so the terrain, that we would need to take into account when setting up surveying?
Well, you've got to look at the terrain, whether the ground is going to be convex or concave, whether you're going to be pulling uphill or downhill, and what type of operation is it. Are you going to be in thinnings or are you doing a clear fill?
So ideally we like to pull in a straight line, but this isn't always possible. So when would you think about using offset winching?
You consider offset winching if perhaps there wasn't enough room at the bottom for the base machine to be in line with the rack, or your Skyline system required a separate tower to the base machine, or there's a risk that perhaps if you're pulling downhill and the trees are going to run away and come collide with the tower, you might want to be offset a little bit.